This drum is much more than an object to look at. It's part of a very dynamic performative context that transcends the visual and that includes movement and sound. My name is Costa Petridis. I'm Chair and Curator of Arts of Africa at the Art Institute of Chicago. This is a female Caryatid drum, locally known as Pinge, that was made by carvers of the Senufo people in Côte d'Ivoire, West Africa. What we're looking at really stands out because it represents a rare type of drum that combines a female seated image with a drum on top of her head. The female imagery points to the important social and religious role that women played in Senufo culture. Senufo is the name that is typically given to a large number of individuals that live predominantly in Côte d'Ivoire, but also in parts of Mali and Burkina Faso. They comprise many different subgroups, and though they share a number of cultural traits, there's also a lot of internal diversity and variety that reflects itself in the dialects spoken, but also in the art styles produced. And based on style, this particular drum is related to a group of artisans known as Kulebele. And Kulebele is basically the name that is used to identify wood carvers. The female imagery most likely points to the fact that it belonged to a woman's organization. So one of the hallmarks of Senufo culture is the existence of two fundamental organizations. One is Poro, which has its equivalent in Yekba, and those are respectively male and female associations that basically govern life, but in practice play a major role in both initiations and in funerals. And it's at funerals that four-legged drums and other musical instruments are typically used in order to mark the transition of the dead to the other world. This drum is quite well known because of its extensive publication and exhibition history. It was first shown in 1957 in Cannes, then it appeared in a landmark exhibition held in New York in 1963, but it was also included in a small focus exhibition that the Art Institute organized in the early 90s. Based on art historical research, the work most likely dates from the 30s or 40s. The drum itself is decorated with these bas-relief motifs. We also find these kind of reliefs specifically on doors. When we look at a rollout of the design, we can read it from left to right, and we see on the one hand animals, specific animals that refer to water and to nature spirits, and then also a number of humans. We see a long-beaked bird that has been identified as a stork, a male equestrian holding a lance, a monitor lizard or crocodile biting into the rim decoration of the drum, a snake that holds a fish in its mouth. Those images, all in one way or another, refer to combat and conflict, not only among humans within a society, but also between humans and the spirits. Carrying this heavy cylindrical drum is a woman seated on a four-legged stool. The woman holds her arms up as a way to balance the drum on her head. The fact that she's seated on a stool is significant. It refers to status and to praise, to admiration. The woman shows in her attributes, in her decorations, traits that are considered exceptionally beautiful. They comprise scarification patterns on the face, but also and especially around the navel. And they also include jewelry like armlets and bracelets. The fact that these drums would have been played by women, used by women in the context of a woman's association. What it ultimately signifies is that women are literally seen as the carriers of Senufo society.